Everybody's got a price for the $1 Million Man.
Who's that kid? Nick. He looks like Beaker from Muppets.
The one on FS1, Nick Wright.
Yep. Yeah. I got something.
That's amazing.
I
did not even. I love that.
If I get 5 women and they're all in the same room with me, we're going at it at 110%.
What's going on, everybody? Tuesday night here on A2D Radio, Lazy Booking Podcast, Niche Night. We're kicking things off. You got the hockey guys at the 9 p.m. Eastern time slot for you guys. And we're coming off of one hell of a WrestleMania week. And we still have SmackDown post-Mania to go. As always, I'm Chrome, joined by my co-host, Mr. Eric Archer. What's up, buddy?
What's up? So real quick, just want to thank all of you that if you've watched us, if you took a peek at us, you checked our videos out over the last, several months. Thank you. I'm absolutely having a blast, Chrome. Thank you for allowing me to join you in this. And I am pumped to go into WrestleMania and go into this. But I just wanted to thank all of you for making this happen. We're doing really well. We've grown. So, just want to thank all of you. But, I'm really pumped to get going for a WrestleMania recap and what's to come.
Absolutely. As always. And we're also joined by this guy.
There he is.
One Mr. Pete Evans. Jesus Christ.
Hey, that's
P.O.,
not bad.
That's not P.O.
That doesn't have a bad ring to it.
Pete Owens. If you go to WWE, you got to change your name anyway. So There it is, Pete.
Yes, sir. Put him up.
Guys, looking forward to talking today. And for everybody out there, echo what Eric said, but also please, tonight, a lot to talk about from WrestleMania. So make sure you guys give us a like, follow, subscribe, A2D Radio and Lazy Booking Podcast TV. And most importantly, join the conversation tonight. We want your comments. We're going to go through the main event of night 2. We're going to talk about most of the matches. We're going to talk about the high points from both nights 1 and night 2. Maybe give our grades, which night we felt was better. I think it's going to probably be pretty clean across the board, as well as we're going to talk about the big moments of surprise returns. Paige, Brock Lesnar's unexpected retirement, Bianca Belair's announcement that she's pregnant, and so much more. So, guys, we really want to hear what your reactions were to WrestleMania. Please make sure you guys contribute that to us on the show.
Yes, it's just as big a part of the show as we are. So,
absolutely,
keep them coming.
Yeah, absolutely. But we got to pay a little love to our doctor, Dr. Paul Vidal, specialized physical therapy with physical locations in Burlington and Cherry Hill, New Jersey, or you can find him on the web at that site, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Any kind of aches, pains, anything long-lasting, anything short-term, most recent, contact him and his award-winning team. They'll give you a look over. They'll set you guys up on track to get back to your physical peak. So make sure you check out that site, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Well, guys, we had WrestleMania nights 1 and 2. We had the SmackDown going in. We obviously did Wednesday last week. We had Andy and we had Butters that came on and they did a live reaction on Lazy Booking Podcast TV, which did very, very well. I'm thanking anybody who joined them and contributed as well. But I just want to get your guys' thoughts on our opening topic. We're going to go right to the main event. Roman Reigns versus CM Punk was an all-time WrestleMania main event. Do you agree or disagree? Again, wherever you guys are at, please make sure you guys jump in, contribute. But agree or disagree, Roman Reigns versus CM Punk was an all-time WrestleMania main event. Pete, why don't you kick us off?
Well, first and foremost, this is kind of like the second, because you guys have almost a year under your belt now with doing LBP TV. It's a lot of letters. I just want to give those out there, we have to christen those who follow. And I think I just came up with this. Like to christen the following, the LBC, the Lazy Booking Collective, those who follow,
Love that.
put a hashtag LBC out there and then let it grow. Plant the seeds, let it grow. Hey, we had a head coach for the Eagles who said that. It sounded like ludicrousy at that time, and now we have a Super Bowl because of it. All right, I digress. When you think about from the entrance of Roman just having his aura with the opera singers and a very smaller, and he comes out with the lay, the tribal chief lay, and Punk's entrance was if the match was all time, his entrance was all time. To go back to the AF1, Mysterio Cantera, great song. That's when he came out to in his ROH days, being sitting on top of however you do it on Allegiant Stadium, and his gear, his walk, his patience, you felt it. It had that big fight feel, and I think it lived up to it. When you say all time, I mean, this is always subjective, right? This is what this whole show is about. So it depends on how your list is. If it's top 5, top 10, whatever. If it's in the top 15, because remember, there's been 42 of these. Okay, this is Jackie, which is, I don't understand why nobody came out with a Jackie Robinson jersey on. I mean, just saying, just missed opportunity there. Big missed opportunity there. But it's been 42 of these. It's closer to the top 10 than not the bottom 10. I will say that. So I definitely agree with the poll.
There you go. What do you think, Eric?
I think it's pretty clear to anybody, whether you liked night 1, whether you liked night 2, this match was WrestleMania 42. When they look back at WrestleMania 42, they're going to look back at this match from start to finish. And you look back at the story behind it. They came in hating each other, but also that respect and wanting something that they didn't have, the envy. And I think the story just played out in that match where there was a lot of trash talking. There was a lot of back and forth, and it told an amazing story. I mean, even at the end where CM Punk, his mind is ready to go and his body just gives out on him. I mean, we've seen that in sports for forever, where someone just falls short, and this just captivated my interest even more at the end of this match, and just intrigue. And for that, it was definitely the match of the night. Going as far as all time, I mean, you look back, just examples, we all know them. Rock Hogan, Michael's Undertaker. You could go down the list. Cody Roman from 40, WrestleMania 3, Hogan and Andre. Is this match gonna be talked about with those matches? I think it's in the conversation. It's so fresh that I want to say yes, but maybe I'll agree to the poll. But I'm curious to see down the road where this falls with those matches, because we still talk about those, right? So are we still going to be talking about this match that way 5-10 years from now? When we get to the 50th anniversary of WrestleMania, is this match going to be talked about? I think it will be, but let's see what happens.
Yeah, listen, I think a lot of things that you guys said are true. The aura of Roman Reigns in an entrance at WrestleMania has definitely become a thing. It is something special to watch. I think we all enjoy that. He looked as good as he's ever looked physically as well. I mean, he looked chiseled, and he looks like a guy who's a big money ticket who should be closing out a WrestleMania. And then I just look at the story going in and where it started, and then even that last promo going into it, I think overall the story was told extremely well. There's a 10 plus year history of animosity here, and then the aspect of I'm jealous for what you represent. I resent you because of my jealousy for what you have. I thought was really a key twist at the end of this. And then even taking the entrance, I mean, Punk comes out with the jacket that pays homage to all of the people who they've lost over recent months, including Larry, the dog. He comes out, in all white like a pure baby face. But the story of this match and the way it was told, and the spots in this match, and the build to the finals, where Punk gave everything he had, but on that night it just wasn't enough. His body gives out on him. I thought was just tremendous. I'm glad we didn't get a pass out spot. I don't think we need any of that. He finished him with the spear. I think that's the way to go. And your tribal chief is back on top. And the fact that we know from the post show that Roman is going to be around for another year makes this a much more enjoyable moment, because the concern is, does Roman come back part-time? Do we want to now do that to this title? Well, we got our answer. He's not going to be doing that. He's going to be here through the end of the summer. But I really felt this was on that level. I thought storytelling through the match, we look at Steamboat and Savage, and we look at Hogan and Andre, and we look at HBK and take your pick. I think 25 is the better one, so I'll go with that 25. And the whole reason that those matches are as compelling as they are is because it didn't just have a great story going in, but it's the story that the match told. So they got plenty of time, and
30,
I love
34 minutes, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I would put these boys. I think you could make an argument that this is a top 5 to 7 main event in the history of WrestleMania. And time will tell as well, right? But when we're talking main event, we're saying closing out WrestleMania. Now, you could go night 1 or 2, it doesn't matter, but you closed out one of these nights.
Yeah. And to be honest, even for Punk last year, night 1, triple threat, he got to do it. That's just, you could just say you could did it, just to say you could did it, right? But for night 2, last match, finale, you are the champion. You are the champion to close it out, even though you go out on your back. And I just want the story being told during the match. What was the first point that they got physical? What made Punk get physical with Roman is when he called him old.
Mm-hmm. This girl loves her some Roman, by the way.
Who doesn't? I mean, if I could look like it's only 5 people I would rather change my looks for. That he's one of them. He's on the short list, right? So, but he said he called him old. When we saw his body give out, and his mind wanted to, but his physical body could not. That is there, and they didn't even say it. They haven't mentioned it. Roman didn't talk about it. Punk didn't talk about it last night on Raw. But that was the closing of the loop of what originally started the physicality in this story that was being told.
Yeah, you can argue that Punk carried a lot of that match, and he really put himself out there. And we saw some really awesome spots by both. I love them using their own moves on each other. And then the one thing I'm glad we didn't get is we didn't get interference from anybody, which we were kind of concerned about that a few weeks ago when the Usos were kind of put into this story, and then they kind of faded away, which was great. I think that you needed to have these two settle it and have a definitive winner in this, and I think it was handled very well. And if there was a schmaz at the end, I think it would have just taken away from it.
Well, let me just say this, just to clear up that statement. I was not concerned that there would be interference. My concern is if Roman wins, he's going to be part-time. Right. So with knowing what the history has been, I wanted Jey Uso to interfere and cost him and have Punk continue to be champion. And then Roman can come back and do whatever. We talked about that. Now, in hindsight, and this is the The benefit of hindsight is we now know Roman is not going away. So in that instance, then I'm glad we didn't get the interference, because Roman's here to stay and through the summer. And then obviously, and we'll get to it shortly, what followed on the post show just created that much more of a buzz and excitement than I think what would have happened had Punk won this match. So I personally, and I'm not saying you were, I personally was not concerned. I wanted the interference to set up something going forward.
Where go ahead, Eric.
No, I was just gonna say it made sense a few weeks ago.
Yes, you're right.
It kind of faded away. Like after a while, after that one attack where Jay was barking orders, which it made sense at that time, and I was kind of on that same page too, where like it's a chance that Jay could cost Roman this and take his rightful place as tribal chief. But as they started to fade out of that storyline and they were more focused on their 6-man match, it kind of made more sense at that point to me that we see a one-on-one match where there's a definitive winner, and that's what we got. But I think if they continued in this, it probably would have been like, all right, what's going to happen? When's that shoe going to drop? When are we going to see Usos out here?
Well, it almost makes you wonder, and you know, I don't want to go down too much into this, but it does make you wonder: could that have initially been the plan, and did things change? Because obviously, with what we're going to talk about in a few minutes concerning Brock and Oba, you know, did that situation change? Which in turn, did Roman make a decision in more recent weeks or a week? Hey, I'm going to stick around until the end of the summer. So I think that there could be some factors in that too that we're not necessarily in the know of.
Yeah. I mean, so speaking like a Smaj made sense in 39, a Smaj made sense in 40 because he was coming into it within the bloodline, right? 41, though, like this was Roman's first major title win, I want to say, since 2016, where he had no help. SummerSlam 2016 when he finally beat Brock, if I'm not mistaken. So we needed that. And then it almost was like they got to that point with Jay. And remember, Jay said, Joe, Giddy. That when he was talking about Brock, he called him like he put his first name out there. Probably just kind of had that indifferent feeling, right? But like with a lot of things with this WrestleMania, there was a lot of pivots, a lot of different points, a lot of different turns and forks at the road. They kind of stripped it down, right? And I like that because now it was almost like, I mean, I like Punk to me has had the best world heavyweight title reign since the inception of the title. It met the. I know Seth had the most matches.
Seth had a pretty good one too, though. His first one,
right? Like, but if you're thinking about when Seth had that title, it opened night 2 of WrestleMania 40. This title was WrestleMania 42 was bookended by Roman versus Punk, and obviously it's the players within the game, but still at that point, this was the prize. The prize was the World Heavyweight Championship. Like you have Cody, who Trips has said, if Cody's a QB1, right? What does that make Roman?
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Very good QB2.
Yeah, I guess. Does it make it a quarterback controversy? I guess.
Right.
It's definitely. Listen, I love Cody Walk, but he ain't Roman, bro. He ain't got that aura. I would honestly say, like, I was watching the entrance again. I don't know if I could put outside. Austin's aura was different. Like, I don't know if I could put. It's their neck and neck just on the entrance, and when they just walk out and they look like it and they carry themselves like it, even though the teeth is too white and too big, they still look good. And like you said, he had a sick, like he was sick. He's 40, I think he's 41 or 40, 42, something like that. I think I'm a year older.
He'll be 41. He's about 2 months younger than me, so he'll be 41 in May.
Okay. So like to be that, and then we kind of got it. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. We kind of got part of what he looks at it and how he views being the world heavyweight champion and what he said in his promo last night to maybe the opponent at Backlash.
Yeah.
Like, just because you see this and this is what you think you want, are you prepared to handle everything that comes with it?
Yeah.
Right.
Let me get. God.
No, I'm done.
I just want to hit a couple of the comments. Pat says, I really appreciated the evolution of guys in their entrance. Roman, Punk, and Cody all did it. I agree. I really enjoyed that. I liked how Cody's went, by the way, with having all of the vintage outfits on the staging. I really enjoyed that. And it looked like the molds of the statues or whatever they used also had his face of what it looked like in those times. It was really cool looking.
Yeah.
Prism says, didn't love day one, only watched a couple of matches day two. Roman versus Punk was the best match from what I saw. We'll dive into that momentarily. The three of us watched together, which was cool. Brian Daly says, what's up, guys? Was disappointed with a lot of the results at WrestleMania 42. Okay, I was not, but love it. Share more. We want to know why. Pat says, it's amazing. It's amazing, as shocking as the surprise of Braun. It's kind of forgotten with everything that happened this weekend. That's also true.
Yeah, with 2 nights, I mean, it's easy for something to get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah. He says Roman is the head coach.
There you go.
Player coach. I can see analogy.
That. General manager.
He's the veteran that leads his team. Yeah, I mean that's
hey, listen, he talks about it, right? He gets the Tom Brady treatment. You know, they go to him before they make any acquisitions. Prism says, hey, my birthday's in May. Love that. It's gonna be May. Nice. That's right. I went there. Keep the comments coming, guys.
It's next Friday too. That's the crazy part. Wow.
I know. Guys, keep the comments coming. We want to know what your thoughts are, your reactions to this specific statement on the screen and everything that was WrestleMania. But let's move ahead because night 2 had a lot that went on, and we're going to go back to night 1, but we cannot move on past anything else until we talk about the opening of WrestleMania night 2. We got the highly anticipated match. We have discussed this match at nauseum, maybe not for me, of the upcoming the match for Brock Lesnar in his open challenge against Oba Femi. Eric, we specifically talked about this. The feeling of this needs to be a squash came about more and more as this went along, and Brock had his moments. But Oba ends up overcoming. He kicks out of the F5. He's barely affected by certain moves that Brock normally destroys people on. Really, other than the suplexes, he was good. I mean, he essentially popped up out of the F5.
I'm about to say he no-sold the F5.
Yeah,
he slowly got he sold, but then he was kind of just like it was a slow get up.
He choke slams Brock, which, I mean, the height, too, on that. And then he hits him with that pop-up sit-out power bomb.
The fall from grace.
The fall from grace to essentially squash Brock. Maybe slightly over a squash when you look at the time and the little bit of the offense that Brock got in. But it was just close. It was close enough to get Brock's greatest hits in a very short period of time and call it a day.
Yep.
So Oba goes over 75-yard strut to the ring, by the way, guys.
I think he got tired.
Tremendous.
Like, all right, I've had enough of this.
I think he ate every second of it up.
Yeah.
But he definitely he took his good old time getting to the ring. And it's amazing. Again, we talked about what would that visual be like of 50,000+ people, you know, strutting to that song, and it was tremendous to watch. And again, this is a beautiful thing about wrestling. When you see Oba Femi, and we talk about how people are like of all walks of life follow pro wrestling, and it really does bring people together. You saw people, young, old, male, female, all types of races, just doing the same thing. Some had rhythm, some didn't, but they were having the time of their life at the opening of this. It was a great way to set the tone for WrestleMania. But Brock falls to Oba. Oba leaves the ring, and Brock shocks the world. He takes his gloves off, takes his boots off. He leaves them in the middle of the ring. Paul joins him in the ring in tears, and Brock Lesnar retires. So we're believed.
I was about to say, like, it's believed that he is retired.
Yeah, lots of theories being thrown out on this as well. So I'll say this before we dive into the conversation.
Mhm.
I am more on the fence of this is a legitimate retirement. We've been talking about it for 4 months, 3 months, whatever there is. But I am not closing the door until we see what the favor is for Gunther against Heyman. That Gunther's not going to say, I want to be the one to screw Oba. I want to be the one to retire Brock. My favor is you get him back in the ring for one more match at SummerSlam. I'm not closing the door on that, but I'm going to take it at face value at this moment. Brock even getting emotional. Brock breaking that character, patting his chest, saying thank you so much, giving people high fives, touching people, which is like, you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
Like giving people high fives, acknowledging the fans on the way back up the ramp. What a moment.
Yeah.
I just want to get your guys' reaction because we watched night one together at my house. But we were in our own separate areas of night two. Eric, I know you watched it later on. I don't know if this was spoiled for you or not, but that's perfect. So I would love to get your guys' reactions. Pete, why don't you jump in first since you watched it live, and then I'll get Eric's on the reaction side of it.
It showed me Brock's maturity throughout his career, and how people say kayfabe is dead, and to a point with him it is. And we've heard Cena say like his mind for the business, and he does the right things in his time, and to be that type of monster character, to be able to work like that and to have this for this moment, I think this was kind of preordained in Rumble. Like once he eliminated Oba, we had that kind of throughout the Rumble with that tease and that interaction between them two. Ultimately eliminates Oba. I think Oba coming in at this time is the right time, and he saw something in Oba like we all see. It's like, all right, he can handle it. Like he can work. And it's Oba's time in NXT. He's worked with big, small. He's gone long. He's gone short. He's worked with all different type of competitors, and he can really, really work. And we all thought because Minnesota is SummerSlam, right? We all thought he wants to get back there. And that's where he's going.
It felt inevitable, right? It feels inevitable.
Yeah. It was almost too easy, just like AJ. Like we thought about AJ and how he wanted to say Rumble, like we wanted to do it at Mania. I think I still think he's going to be a part of SummerSlam. In what way? I don't know if it's going to be a match, but this was definitely by surprise, and they did it really on free TV with ESPN, right? And everybody got to see it, and everybody knows who Brock Lesnar is. Brock Lesnar is a household name, and now after this, Oba Femi is a household name, and I want to kind of have a deeper conversation at some point with him about Oba and this where he's going, right? So I don't think we're gonna know how much we miss Brock until now. Like you're not like he wasn't around all the time, right? But ever since he came back, I want to say 2013, Raw After Mania 2013. He's been a dude that you get in the ring with, like he's going to take everything into power. Either you're gonna him and Roman 6 matches or 3-3. And I don't even know how Roman got 3 because for the first 3 wasn't even close. It wasn't even close. I mean, you had to do F5 Big Show, you had to do F5 Strowman, but once again, Father Time is undefeated, man. You could just see, up top, his upper body, he still has it. That lower body is not the same. And I think he knew that. Like, this is the perfect time to walk away. And like you said, he's built this wall, proverbially speaking, around his character, around his personality. So when he finally showed any inkling of appreciation back to the WWE universe, we're all appreciative because it's like, yo, this dude is human. Like he's not doing this. And we got to see Paul last night get emotional. You know what I mean? And I think that's legit. I mean, we all could be being worked. For me, I find it very, very hard if he does come back and he has another match. Because and then also the Gunther point. Gunther said the favorite involves the World Heavyweight Championship last night. So I don't just kind of for like future storytelling, I just don't know how we tie that in. But we'll see. I miss him. Like you don't think you would miss Brock until you don't have him.
Yeah, listen, I've always been a Brock guy. Obviously, what's happened and the reason to step away, I think, was the right decision. But I don't care what anybody said. Everybody felt something. Everyone reacted. Most people popped when Brock came back at SummerSlam last year. You know, I don't know too many people who, even the ones that were critical of everything, that were like, "Oh my God, Brock's back." I don't care. I mean, love for our boy Vince Russo. He might be one of them. He's of the opinion that nobody gives a shit how they book Brock. Well, guess what? I think WrestleMania is another instance where that kind of was proven differently. But listen, I think that you're right. You give that on TV. There's so many reasons to do that. You're showing the world, Brock Lesnar, who is known, even if you're not a pro wrestling fan, but you're an ESPN watcher, you know who Brock Lesnar is.
Yep.
He's one of the biggest, it might be the biggest, most recognizable combat star there ever was. Yep. And that includes guys like Ken Shamrock and Chuck Liddell and all these other, Randy Couture and all these other really great UFC fighters. Brock Lesnar's notoriety is undeniable.
Yep.
And by showing that moment on television and how unprovoked it came off, how spontaneous and shocking it was, you're telling your audience, this is the kind of stuff you will see on this program if you subscribe to our thing. So, and I'll say this last thing, and then Eric, you go. In regards to AJ Styles, if this is not a last-minute decision and this was in the works, I am curious if part of the reason that AJ did not go to WrestleMania
was because
they knew that this was coming down the pike. And as incredible of a career as AJ has had, Brock Lesnar would have overshadowed that.
Yep.
So, yeah, I went completely dark because I was not going to watch WrestleMania live night 2. Went to the Phillies game, froze my tail off with my wife. It was her birthday. Came home and I watched hour 1 when I got home, and then I watched the rest of it when I woke up in the morning. I got up super early because I get the kids up anyway. But either way, so all right, I want to start with the match first because I was a proponent and shouting to the rooftops that I thought Brock Lesnar was winning this match. Yeah, I'm saying it. I was wrong. You can put that in at 7:50 p.m. Eastern time that Arch was wrong for the first time in his life. No. Yeah, put it on the list. So I was a proponent that Brock was going to win because it's like no offense at all is all Oba week after week after week. Even in like the pull aparts, Oba got the best, either even with him or better than him. So to me, it was like, all right, well, wrestling logic tells me Brock's going to win this. It's going to be a war. It may be a quick war, but it's going to be a war that Brock comes out on top. Watching the match, I mean, as much as WWE and Triple H get flack for the booking as of late, they book this so well. They have themselves a bona fide main event star right now. Do not mess it up, WWE. You've got yourself a big star. Don't mess it up. Now, going to Brock with Lesnar, whether what you believe is true or not, sounds like Triple H is saying that this was a spontaneous thing that he was not aware about. And he could just be saying that. We could all be, this could all have been in the works, and that logically makes sense. If AJ knew what was going on, it makes logical sense. But let's say Triple H didn't know about this. it also makes sense too because Gunther has this favor. And maybe that favor was, all right, I want to retire Brock Lesnar. He's vulnerable. I'm going to end his career. And maybe Brock was just like, you know what? I gave everything I had to this kid, and this kid's going to be a rising star. And this kid, like, it's clear that I did the job for him. This dude is over like Rover. I got the job done. I have nothing else left to do. I'm calling it quits right now. And I hope that they don't go back and recreate this, because this was the most genuine, the most real, and the most dramatic thing that we've ever seen from Brock Lesnar. It was so human. Like, don't go back and mess that up. Just let it be. Come up with something else. Creative team, if that was the plan, because this was so well done. And hats off to Brock. I had to whip out my Suplex City shirt from Suplex City in Philly. Like, I had to get this shirt, and I got a double X, and now it fits me because I'm bigger. But I had to whip it I had to get it out of the drawer today, because you know what? Say what you will about Brock and his outside stuff. I absolutely respect the hell out of this guy and what he contributed to the ring, to the WWE, and what he did for Oba Femi, because he gave him everything in this whole story. Like, you can't say that about many other people, brother. Like, people don't get that from others a lot of times, and Brock Lesnar was willing and able to do that. So hats off to you, Brock. Thank you.
Yeah. Listen, I'm gonna call a spade real quick here. In terms of the off television stuff, I don't condone it, but from everything that's been put out there, and who's to say there could be more, he's not a criminal. He's probably someone who, for lack of a better term, is a bit of a sex addict, and he's an adulterer. That's his business. I don't agree with it, but he's not physically hurting anybody. Now,
I mean, his wife was an adulterer before she was even his wife. I mean,
you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But that, maybe that's why she's so forgiving in this situation. But I want to make sure we put this out there, because we talked about this at SummerSlam last year. That is the way you have to look at it, right? He has not done anything that is criminally wrong.
Right.
Now, in negotiations, did Vince McMahon say, "Hey, I got this girl that you can blah 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 blah," and Brock's like, "Cool, sounds good to me." Maybe
TKO and their shareholders would not have Brock Lesnar on their television if there was something criminal or they were worried about something. They had to have cleared everything. Otherwise, he would not have been on WrestlePalooza, and he wouldn't have been at WrestleMania. Like, that's
it's
the truth.
And they're in bed with Disney. It is the Disney company. So I'm not saying he's not a saint. In terms of his personal life, he's made some poor decisions. Him being named in that doesn't mean, for all he could have known, Vince could have just been like, "Hey, man, I got this girl you'll really like." He may not have known the lengths Vince is doing, or the reason behind Vince doing it, other than this is a buddy who's throwing me a bone here, literally. So I don't want to go too far down that route, but I just want to make sure that we make that very clear when we say he exposed himself as an adulterer, and he makes really poor decisions in terms of his marriage. But we're going to go on the wrestling stuff, because it does not seem like there's anything else in terms of I have to rip his character apart.
Right.
Wrestling wise, and I give this, I'm not taking the credit for this, but I really thought about it when he said it. Busted open Bully Ray after Brock cut that promo, or I'm sorry, Oba cut that promo on Paul Heyman last Monday. Bubba talked about how, look at what Brock can do for this kid if he puts him over. Like, Brock is the next level. He said he did more for Keith Lee than anybody ever has as an opponent in his career, and all he did was stare him down, and all he did during his entrance was make a face and go, "Whoa." That made him, because it was Brock Lesnar reacting. Drew McIntyre, a kick and an elimination in the Royal Rumble. That made Drew officially a main eventer at this level. So Brock Lesnar has the power in his hands to make or break guys, just like anybody else, just like a Roman, purely by just being himself and the character he built and what he did. And it wasn't just the fact that he literally did the job the whole way into WrestleMania. He helped it along. We talked about the foot on the chest after the first interaction.
Yes.
You watched him on the one camera angle lip to Oba as Oba was standing over him originally. He lipped up to him, put your foot on my chest. Again, a very giving guy in ways that people don't understand. And people have this perception that Brock doesn't give a shit about wrestling. But if you really talk to people, particularly over the last probably 5, 6, 7 years, they actually say he cares a lot. It means a lot to him. And he has a lot of pride in himself for what he presents out there. So I think this meant a lot to him to be able to pass the torch to a guy who is legitimately capable of being his replacement in every aspect of that, that range of what's needed.
Can I add one thing before we move on for this? Again, I'm going to say that I was wrong about something.
Twice.
WrestlePalooza. Who was crying about John Cena losing to Brock Lesnar? This guy. Why are they doing this during his run? Why are they doing this? Why? Doesn't make any sense. If Brock Lesnar doesn't squash John Cena in that match,
this doesn't mean as much.
This doesn't mean as much at all, because you Brock Lesnar lost, and then what? He had to have that victory in the way that it happened. Now, because of the storytelling, you're gonna make this guy, and I mean, I was dead wrong.
I mean, it's early, right? But if you just look at NXT call-ups to WWE, Oba, I mean, it's crazy. Him tricking Devon all caught up at the same time.
Yeah.
But I think Oba's leading the pack already, because he literally retired Brock Lesnar. Listen, Gunther, John Cena, cool. AJ Styles, cool. He retired Brock Lesnar, and that's probably going to make Gunther jealous. This is the question I wanted to pose. I don't know. Oba no one's been hot shot like this overnight. Brock was there, dark matches, things of that nature. Oba, to me, this feels like 83 Hogan all over again. Leave the territory, come back, have a tag match, Madison Square Garden, Iron Sheik, boom, you're champ. Hulkamania is born. I'm not saying he's that. I would have not cared at one bit if it was Oba who came out last night and said Jacob Fatu and Roman do the job, because it's too believable for him. Like he can talk, he can work, he's big as I don't know what. Like he's almost what Keith Lee should have been.
You think about it though, he could absolutely go the Brock territory. I know Brock. He debuted after WrestleMania, and he was world champion by Summer. He won King of the Ring, and he became WWE champion. The Rock said, "Hey, here you go. I'm out of here. This is yours now."
Yep.
You could kind of probably see that same trajectory for Oba. If you do King of the Ring this year, maybe you have him win it, have it to where, and you saw it with Roman on the post show. We talked about the post show, the chants of Oba's gonna kill you, and I love what Roman said. Like, hey kid, good win. Let's see what you got this summer. Let's see if you keep this momentum going. Let's see if you can earn it with the Tribal Chief. And I mean, you've got a box office WrestleMania 43 if you wanted to go that route.
But Roman made a mention to speak to the press conference. He said, "Let's see if you can get through the summer." So I already think one of these nights it's Oba Roman.
Could be.
for
Yeah,
for
definitely.
the World Heavyweight title.
Oh, I think Roman's going to drop the title to Oba at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
I'd be
You think they're
shocked
gonna
if he
go? You
did.
think they're gonna go that quick?
Yep.
So I'm surprised they may get rushed into doing it faster. I think Gunther wins Money in the Bank, and he tries to cash in on Oba at SummerSlam. That's what I think happens. Maybe whatever the favor is from Heyman, hey, put me in Money in the Bank, and maybe take somebody else's spot. I think they're going to have a harder time trying to navigate not rushing into that. Because to me, we're sitting here saying Lesnar, we're sitting here saying Hogan. To me, Oba's when he said he came out last night and he had the standing ovation for 2 or 3 minutes, he said the ruler has arrived. He's now the litmus test. He's the measure stick, just like Taker was. Brock took that, and now he took out Brock's spot. We thought it was Gunther. Even Gunther's not this dude. Because this dude is more explosive, more powerful. Now Gunther's more methodical. It's oil and water. They kind of similar, but even Gunther is not like this. 2 moves, you done. Get out of here.
The writing is on the wall with Brock, with Oba.
Yes.
Because if you go and you look at there's some stuff I watched this morning that I hadn't watched. I usually DVR like First Take and Get Up, right? Because especially when I'm working, sometimes I don't get to watch that stuff, but I at least want to catch, the segments I want to watch. So I DVR it every day and then I'll go back and watch it. So I never got to watch it that day, Friday. So I went back and watched, and they had Triple H on there talking. And he asked them, like, who do you think is going to be a breakout star? And they went on a whole thing about Oba Femi. And he's like, I'm telling you, this guy has something like very few, if anybody, has ever had. He's been in the business for 3.5 years. Literally only 3.5 years. He just got his college degree in 2022.
Yep.
And he's that young. He's 27. And he's like, he is so good now. And he's not even scratched the surface. And he said, when you guys watch this event, you are going to understand why he is a special person. And I'm telling you, you bring up Hogan in 83, and then by January of 84, they put the strap on him. 100%, I think this is the equivalent. Not to say they're making him Hulkamania, but in terms of the rocket ship is going in warp speed on this guy.
Yep.
And well deserved. Well deserved. Yeah. He is Brock with an ability to articulate, and Brock was always good on the mic, but he had Heyman, right?
Yeah.
This guy stands on his own 2 legs, and every word he says is believable. And it's incredible.
He's going to be the test for other guys as well. If they can do it with Oba, who's to say? I mean, we're going to talk about Mania, but we saw the advancement of Trick Williams. Now we see these 2 guys. Now, like Pete said, with the NXT call-ups, would we see some more of that? And I think if the Oba test works, which it seems like it's off to a phenomenal start, who's to say there won't be somebody else along the way as well?
Dynasty, the closest to this coming right out of NXT is the initial Finn Balor run when he won the Universal title and got hurt. That was fairly quick from when he was brought up. Outside of that, like, I love KO, but I wouldn't even put KO on this level.
Because, I mean, Balor beat Roman to get to that point, to get to the finals with Seth.
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't
shout out to Don, by the way. Flyers do look good.
Listen, cool. I don't like the Michigan Wolverine avatar as a UConn fan. I'm still hurt a little bit. They beat us in the national championship game. It is what it is. I'm moving on. Because I don't talk. No, but in all seriousness, he has it when they're saying that stuff, he has it in between the ears. His mind for it. And there are guys who are down in NXT that may be just as explosive, Keanu Carver, Jasper Troy, but not that same fit, right? Not the same mold. This is like lightning in a bottle. I mean, he relinquished the NXT title. Like, he lost it to Ricky Sates, won it back, and it was like, all right, like, he's ready. Like, he's ready for it. And then He looks the part. He came out yesterday wearing a suit jacket. You see what I'm saying? So he's marketable at the same time. And like Chrome, like you said, this kid can articulate, and he's calling himself the ruler. Like, out of how many years the WWE has been around and wrestling's been around, I don't know how no one's ever not called himself the ruler before.
Well, yeah,
But
Sid was the master and the ruler of the world.
I love Mr. Udy, but I mean, yeah, I bet 92 I'd have been scared of shit of Sid too. Like if he knocked on my door, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think Pat makes a good point here, though. Like, because I'll say this might be, in terms of lightning in a bottle,
Right.
for a guy just getting into the business, Goldberg is probably the best comparison. And this guy can do 30-minute matches.
Yes.
That's the difference. It's not 4, 5, 6 minute matches with him. This dude can go. Watch his matches with Javon Evans and Ricky Starks, or Saints, whatever. Now I still call him Ricky Starks.
The matches with Trick Williams, Joe Hendry, like
this dude can work.
He feeds, like as much as he dishes out, he takes, and he can sell his ass off.
Well, you saw his match with Cody at Saturday Night's Main Event. They're right there. Should have told us right there where this guy was headed. They put him up against Cody Rhodes on the John Cena retirement show.
Yep.
Like that alone. Let's get some more comments here, and then we're going to move on.
The collectives speak. Let's get to the collective.
That's it, the collective. Oba's about to go on a Bruno length title run. Not sure anyone on the roster is built up to compete with him. Dude was no selling Brock moves. He should theoretically do the same to Roman and squash him. I'll tell you this. Him going on the post show and saying I took 25 years of the beast and voided it all or no and made it all null. I was like nullified. I was like, damn.
Hey, and his vocabulary is so big. And listen, to this point, right? What Roman said,
I don't think you'll see that, Don.
Roman said last year, like when he kind of gave, I think it was a McAfee interview. He's like, I was gone. No one stepped up that took my spot. Now with Oba here, someone is here who's eligible to take his spot and capable to take his spot. So I could see Roman having his match at SummerSlam that's very, very similar like this, because listen, don't get me wrong, Roman saw Brock somewhat in this. He ain't see Brock at 27 years old. Brock at 27 was 5-star shooting pressure. He was suplexing Big Show off the top rope. 27-year-old Brock in his prime was a different animal. That's what this kid is.
100%.
I keep saying kid because I literally have kids that's 1 year younger than him. That's the crazy part.
Oh, for sure. It's crazy.
You know what I mean?
Eric, you got the last word on this before we move on. We only got 35 minutes left, so go ahead. And we got a lot to cover in 35 minutes.
Oh, we can move on. I think we're good with this. I think it's clear where they want to go, and I think it was the right call. And I think the test is going to be for creative. If it's not SummerSlam, what are you doing with him to keep him hot and relevant?
Yes.
Or maybe you just put the rocket ship on him and put the title on him. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun summer, boys. It really is.
Yeah, let's quick hit some other pieces of Mania. Bianca Belair comes out during the attendance night 1 and makes an announcement that she is pregnant. So, and to circle back on something else, since we're going to be, I guess if we can, we'll intermingle Raw After Mania in between.
Yeah.
For all that shit that was put out there about Montez Ford and his physique, Dawkins looks good. They both came out with a return last night and looked like $1 million. And I'll tell you what, good for Bianca. That's I know that they had talked about wanting to have children. I know the timing kind of sucks, and she's not as young as she once was. So it's good to have it now. Hopefully we do get to see her come back at some point. It'll also give her more time to figure out what if that finger is gonna heal properly. But just quick thoughts on Bianca and Montez having a child here and announcing it at WrestleMania.
I'm happy. I'm happy that I'm happy for anyone. Hopefully a happy, healthy baby. Mother's doing well. Excited for her. Like I said, Montez came into the marriage with 2 kids in a relationship. Having your own, knowing it's kind of like having that practice run to see what it's like to be a mother. Like just kind of how we feel for Naomi, right? But now, if there was ever any division, when we always say this, the WWE Women's Division, if they can take blows like this to have main talent off the board, there is somebody there ready to step up. We saw it last night already with Sol Ruka, and even Zarya looked the part. Being yes, he is. Zarya looked the part like she fit in, looks wise, stature wise, on Raw last night. So take as much time as you need. There's going to be players there that are going to be ready to step up to take your place. I love like you talking about. You think Montez is bad? Dawkins about to have 3 under 3, dog. Like him and his wife already got one, and she got and I think she's pregnant again. I don't know what's in the water, boy, but I liked it. I liked immediately what they're going to be tied to because they saved LA Knight or they saved Seth. They attempted to save Seth, right?
Yeah, it was Seth.
Mm-hmm.
They saved him.
So I like that, and then they took off with the vision. So I already like that. That's a believable program for them to come back to give Logan and Austin somebody to come back for the tag team titles. I like that for them. That's pretty much all I got to say.
Real quick, Pat. They just had the baby. Typically, and obviously it could vary.
Yeah.
We talked about this last week because people were saying, "Oh, Naomi had the baby. Maybe she'd come back." She literally just had the baby. Yeah. And typically, history dictates that when these ladies step away to have a baby, they're gone for whatever the period of their pregnancy is, and close to a year after, usually 6 months to a year, because their body has to recover. They also obviously want to be home with their child through that early stage. So I wouldn't expect, maybe an optimistic target could be SummerSlam.
Yeah.
At the earliest, but I wouldn't expect her back in
Royal Rumble.
Becky was gone
more
for about
likely.
18 months, right?
Yeah.
I think it's always like usually 18 months or so.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
that's
maternity, and then
Alexa was gone for almost 2 years.
Yeah, she was gone for quite a while. Real quick about Bianca. Andy and I talked about it last week where it would just probably be good for her to come out, even if she's not ready. And of course, she had a big reason why. But I think it probably felt so good to just be in front of that WrestleMania crowd. Yeah. And then be able to announce that with John Cena in the ring. I think it was a great moment. And it was a surprise, too. And not alluding to what we're, night one, what our thoughts were about night one. But so many people are just crapping all over night one like it was a terrible show, and I get why, for those reasons, the commercials and all that stuff, and we could talk about that down the road. But like you had surprises. That was one. That's one of your top stars.
Yep.
That came back. That was not unannounced. Whether you liked the surprise or not, you had surprises, and that was one that I really was glad that we saw.
Yeah, and it's like. People forget, like we just talked about Brock, right? And people not having an insight to who he is. Even Bianca, she's been the EST. She was on her path to be, if not the to give Charlotte a run for her money for an all-time great. There's a part of her that probably would think that fans have forgot about her.
Yeah.
Right?
A year's a long time.
Right. So, like you said, Eric, hearing that, being out there, all right, okay, this human condition, they haven't forgotten about me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Mental that mental component. You could say all you want about how you feel and stuff, and it stinks that I'm not out there, but mentally inside you're probably like, man, I wish I was out there. WrestleMania, I'd probably be in a title picture. I'd probably be facing Jade, probably. And missing out on that. And it's like a year in wrestling, and she's in her mid-30s, right? She's like in her mid to late 30s, I believe. So like. And we're seeing it more now where they're, that age isn't mattering as much, but for her, it's probably like, you know what, like, am I ever going to be able to recover from this? And now, having a baby, it's going to be even more. But if anybody can do it, it's Bianca Belair.
Yeah, we got to move on, guys. We got a lot to go through. Real quick, maybe this will help us cover some of it. Off topic, what was everyone's favorite WrestleMania match? For me, and I'm not shocked that I'm going to answer this, This 6-man Intercontinental title match was unbelievable. The spots were fantastic. People talked about the predictability of this. And I said it before and I'll say it again. Sometimes I don't care if I know who is likely to win this match. But the players, the roster, the lineup that they put in this match made every single one of them better coming out of it. And I'll tell you, man, Javon Evans, absolute superstar. JD, I mean, this dude took
Worker, bro.
He took a beating and kept coming back.
Destroyer on her ladder and wrestled the next night.
I mean, unbelievable.
That's a pro for you.
You know, Rusev obviously going through the ladder with Ray. Penta doing what he does. Dragon Lee, I thought, again, put himself...
Gifted the Styles Clash. We just found that out.
Yeah, they never really addressed it. He's been using it, but they never actually made that statement. So you learned that as well. But for me, when I look at the match, I mean, I could say the main event, Punk and Roman. I feel like that's the easy answer. But in the interest of covering another match too for this, on the same level, I would say that the 6-man 6-man ladder match was my favorite.
I'll say one that may not necessarily have been my favorite, but one that I was pleasantly surprised and glad that it went well was Rhea and Jade.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Say what you will about Jade Cargill. She delivered. She delivered the best matches she's had in WWE. Was it perfect? No. But it was pretty darn close for her standards. I mean, Rhea did an amazing job. They both did fantastic. The match went extremely well. And I was glad to see it for both. And yeah, Jade lost the title, but you know what? She's going to be right there. SmackDown's kind of thin at the top. And I would imagine they're probably going to run it back, which is fine. Yep. But, you know, Jade's gotten a lot of hate about, you know, her match quality, lack of matches. Like she's not in control of the amount of matches she's in. She is in the match quality and the performance. And I think it was laid out perfectly. She put herself out there and she exceeded my expectations, I will say. So I'll go with that one.
Yeah. Rhea is a big ticket WrestleMania performer. She's getting up there with the likes of the Charlottes. And all I'll say about that spot backwards between the legs to reverse and put her in.
It's the Riptide.
Holy
whoever
shit,
produced that
was unbelievable. It was so clean.
Smooth. Yes.
So clean. And it's not just on her. Jade has to have the proper posture, legs. Yeah, she has to start.
Repeat the last part. I'm sorry, because your technical difficulties pop back up real quick.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
My mic. It said my mic disconnected for a second for some reason. She had to set all of that up for Rhea to be able to execute, and it was tremendous.
So, for me, I'll keep it short and sweet because we got to move on. We talk about WrestleMania 42. For the next year, next 5 years, next 10 years, my favorite match is the biggest moment of the whole WrestleMania. That's Oba Brock. I think that's going to, when you think of WrestleMania 42, get me wrong, Roman Punk, all-time main event, top 5, top 10. This is going to be the arrival of the ruler and the end of the beast. So that's what you're gonna. If you can capsule it, put it in the ground, open it up 20 years from now, Oba Brock. That's where I'm going.
Yeah, to your point, right? It's almost like when I think of 37, right? You have this main event of Roman, Daniel Bryan, Edge. You know, Edge's first title match at Mania after being gone for so long. And you know what I think of when I think of WrestleMania 37? I think of Sasha Mercedes, and Bianca. And that's Bianca becoming a star at the end of that. And I think you're right, Pete. I think that I'm going to look back at this. There's other great moments, and we're going to touch on. That will probably be that'll be him putting Brock down will be the Hogan slamming Andre of this, the Shawn Michaels jump off of the ladder. That'll be the moment that we remember from this WrestleMania.
That is if, like I said, WWE doesn't mess it up.
Yeah, you're right. I believe if they're ever going to get one right, it's this one. Here's another moment loved, and we were about to touch on this. Loved Paige's return, but still don't think she needed the belt. She'll have her pop regardless. So me and Pat, I know Pat, we were texting, and he said to me, I love that she came back. I didn't think we needed the belt. So Nikki Bella is not cleared.
Yep.
She comes out. Eric was kind of on this the day before. She ends up coming out and says, "Hey, I'm not cleared, but I called an old friend." We hear the scream. Arena erupts. It was an incredible moment. We popped in the living room. We were together for this. We get the return of Paige.
Yep.
And I will say this. AEW had her return to wrestling. Good for them. They wanted to have a moment. And they did nothing with her after that. The only thing that she got out of that was her moment in Wembley, which didn't last for long because they took the title off of her shortly after that.
Yep.
Much like Punk's return.
Punk's return. He's home.
Yeah, they were going for long periods of time, but there was nothing like the moment they returned to WWE, and I think this is exactly the same thing. It looked right. It felt right. I think the WWE style is better. For anyone who wants to say that Paige in AEW didn't look like she had it anymore, the talent she had to work with was not very good. Their women's roster is better now, but even now, I say this all the time. The top of their card is at best, minus Mercedes and Tony Storm. I'm taking them out. Chris Statlander's finally getting there.
Yeah.
But the top of their card is at best mid-card at WWE because of the level of women. I could take 10 women off the WWE roster and they are the number one talents over there in AEW.
Yeah, she was wrestling like Anna Jay, and not to take anything away from them, like don't get me wrong, but like
it's different.
It's just different.
It's a different game.
WWE mass produces women out of NXT. Like, I mean, next level, high level women out of NXT. It's the one thing they almost always hit a home run on.
Yep.
They've got them waiting. It's
literally a backlog.
Yeah,
like it's a factory there. They just develop them. Like, she had to carry matches in AEW. She won't have to carry here. She can just be a part. And then I found out some more knowledge. She signed weeks ago. I think the Sol Ruka spot last night was her spot if Nikki got cleared. If Nikki got cleared, I think the Bellas still win the tag titles. Hats off to them. They deserve it. They kind of started this whole thing, right? And then that is Paige, Liv Morgan last night.
Yeah, that was the conversation that we had. Me and Pat had that same conversation, actually. I said to him, I believe that the Bellas were winning the tag team titles regardless. We talked about this last week on our preview for this show, where I said that it would not shock me because the Bellas are the original tag team that they were going to get the nod. I think that was happening regardless. But when this injury happened, you could put the Kabuki Warriors in. But what's the bigger moment? You talk about WrestleMania moments, Paige returning. That's like, in terms of the women, that's like Hardy-esque from 33.
Yeah.
It was a massive moment. And so, regardless, does she need the title? Maybe not, but she's filling in a spot where I believe that woman was going to get the title anyway. And I agree. I don't know about Sol Ruka, but maybe. But I think there was a point where she was going to come back on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It could have been with Becky.
Or SmackDown, because we didn't actually see her last night, other than in the crowd.
Right.
Yeah.
No, the only thing, like I found out on Friday that she had signed, and it's like one of those things I wish WWE was a little bit better. And we've seen it where they've hid things and kept things hush hush, but this one just got out, and not that it spoiled it for me. I was glad to see her, but I don't think so.
Prism
Come up a little better if nobody knew about it, but
Yeah.
it is what it is.
The indies are their developmental. That's where they just pluck people from it. They don't have an actual training. I mean, Ring of Honor is their version of NXT. And there's people there that shouldn't be there. I mean, they had freaking Penta there for like almost the entire last year of his run, or 2 of his last 3 years there.
And they're still going for the cheap pop because I can go to. I'm not going down that rabbit hole.
No, yeah, we don't need to do that.
Yeah. Please come home, MJF. Please come home.
Prism says sad to see ROH at this point.
Yeah.
Becky wins the Intercontinental title. I don't really have much to say to that. We'll see what happens. I don't think she holds it for very long.
She doesn't need it, really.
I thought maybe last night she was going to drop it, but looks like she's advertised for next week.
Next week, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to, like, in my head, quickly go through, because we got only like 18
Trick
minutes.
And Sammy.
Trick and Sammy, big moment there. Loved his parents in the front row. Your guys' thoughts on Trick and Sammy?
Only the beginning. Sammy needs to go full heel, embrace it. Maybe join Aleister Black, do whatever you need to do. Trick, it's only the beginning.
Yep.
It's only the beginning. His timing still is a little off. Sometimes you feel him waiting, not sure what to do, but he'll get that. Like everything else, and you can see he's getting better. Post-conference interviews are getting better. He's starting to get non-WWE center interviews to show more of that. But yeah, Lemon Pepper Steppers is here to stay.
He's so
Still haven't got my cameo, by the way, for Trick. Hopefully I get it.
Call him out. We're gonna add him. We're gonna add him in the clips to this.
Yes.
Pat says, I think Paige is going to SmackDown. You guys even said it. And it's true. It's lighter at the top.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah. I was saying like that, plus we talked about the NXT women's roster. They could use some help right about now. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a few of them on Friday night.
Yeah, absolutely. What other moments am I missing here, guys?
Danhausen.
Oh,
yes.
How the hell could I not talk about that? Listen, this was one of the best moments of all of WrestleMania.
Did you see Cena send the tweet out talking about that moment?
No.
Tell us about it.
He said it was one of his favorite moments of all time. He absolutely loved
Jesus.
it.
So was it a work with the smoke that he just missed it? Like, was that in there?
I don't know.
The little people coming out. I don't know how. I wanted to see the camera shot of how far they got up the ramp with Miz after. Who were they carrying? They carried Miz out, right?
They carried Miz out.
They carried him out and they dropped him at some point.
Oh, did they drop him?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I wanted to see how far they got. I'm like, he's just not. He ain't super big, but he got some weight to him. I do think it was a missed opportunity to play Kit Wilson's theme in that venue, because I think next year he's in the mid-card picture by the end of this year, holding the mid-card title. But neither here or there. The interaction, Cena, that's what makes Cena the GOAT. Like, he's so flexible, and he really makes lemonade out of the dirtiest sewer water that you give him, bro. Like, he just makes it happen.
Prism. Yeah, the best part.
Well, that's so.
That was intentional. I think it was intentional.
I do too, but that's the best part about it is even if it wasn't, the way his character is, he could just play it off, and he's like, oh, and he just runs out and slides under the ring like nothing happened.
Did you see the Raw last night during one of the breaks? He came out. He came out during the break, and his truck kept smoking. He's like, oh, it's in the way. I gotta get out. He's like, you're following me. It's so great.
I want to go back to Danhausen, but just to react to this one, Pat. So we knew. I guess it's not even.
That was a worst. That was a worst character too. Yeah.
The reason I feel like this is forgotten is 2 reasons. I don't think that this. I think Pat we were not surprised by this. I know Pat personally, he's been very busy the last couple of weeks with his business. So I can tell you, Pat, we've been talking about this for weeks. We had this exactly the way it went, that Seth was going to lose because he was going to come back. There was a report about 4 weeks ago that said that pretty much right after they had announced they were going here, they still weren't 100% sure if Braun was going to be healthy, but he got cleared like a week or two into the Seth Gunther thing. So we kind of figured it was going to happen. And on top of it, honestly, they were two of the worst spears ever. And he never misses almost on a spear. Those two spears were terrible looking.
I think it was important, despite the spears, it was important that Seth was protected because he just came back from injury as well. So
Correct.
You wanted to make sure that you protected him, but also at the same time elevate Gunther because you're still going with this career killer moniker or whatnot. But great way to bring Braun back. The spears sucked, but the moment was good nonetheless. I saw a video of him hiding, and people saw him. It was kind of funny, but and I don't think we can not talk about that chair shot last night on Raw. Oh my God, he got busted open real bad.
But see, like, not only was it to be expected, I want to say Braun is forgotten. It's almost like this is not over. There's more stories. There's more chapters of the stories to be told. And listen, love Braun. Braun was the big dog on campus until these three dudes just showed up: Oba, Trick, and Javon.
It's fair,
and that's just how it is.
And if Braun didn't get hurt, it's possible he could have been in. I think the original plan might have been him winning the Royal Rumble.
I think it was
one of the ideas. Like, he could have easily been in the spot that the Punk's in, because Punk was talking about, I'm not supposed to be here, and it could have worked out a lot differently if Braun stayed healthy.
Well, in fairness, Pat, it's better that you missed it because you got to be a fan and not have the suspicion that this was going to happen. But yeah, we had heard about it a couple weeks ago, so we kind of have been talking about it. To Pete's point, I'm not putting Javon on that level yet. I don't think he's not at Braun's point. I think Trick is on his way. Trick will be above Braun. Oba though is, if you just, it's almost impossible. To have the bag of tools that an Oba Femi has and put anybody else up on that level right now in terms of the young talent. So
there's no one on the roster believably that can beat Oba, in my opinion, without help.
Oh yeah, that's fair. Again, I could see Roman. I have to be fair to that. Roman has earned that kind of a respect.
Yeah.
And obviously I could see Cody because he's Cody.
That match at Saturday Night's Main Event was a non-finish, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
Right?
Which again, if that didn't tell us that they were where we were going with Oba, that against the WWE champion, they didn't even have a schmaz where somebody knocked him out and he took the pin. They made sure neither of them got hurt or took a finish on that.
So now that you said that, let's real quick take it to main event night one. Thoughts. Cody, we seen him last night. See how that eye looks after the punt or whatever happened.
Nasty. They obviously drained his eye.
Yeah.
He looked like Rocky. Cut me, Mick.
Yeah, they
cut me.
It reminded someone put the picture of Hogan from WrestleMania 9 next to that. See what happens. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, baby. That was hilarious.
Did Ted DiBiase pay somebody to catch him on the way out of the gym again?
It was a brick. I've got word. Oh man, he was hanging and banging, brother, and he got attacked. But I'll tell you, people again talking about night one getting trashed, right? And people not liking this match, and like I said, I give the benefit of the doubt because. Didn't need Pat McAfee involved at all. Didn't need Jelly Roll involved at all. But the match itself, it started off a little slow, but it picked up. Saw some color, and the non-predictability. Talk about night one not being being very predictable. I think night one we had every match up except for this one. I think we all picked Randy Orton, and I didn't see anybody anywhere online picking Cody Rhodes to win this match. So for the non-predictability factor, I'm okay with what happened, and then let's see what happens. I don't know. I mean, I was shocked to see Cody last night. I don't know if they're going to continue with that, but now, as we saw last night with Jacob Fatu coming over to possibly Raw, I would imagine we're probably going to see somebody or people coming over to SmackDown, because you on Raw right now, you are stacked.
Well, I think that's where Punk comes into play, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But also, I think there's room for others. Maybe in LA, maybe that's LA Knight coming over. Maybe that's trying to think off the top of my head. I don't think Seth or Braun are going anywhere because they're feuding with each other. But like, my point is, you can bring some people over and you can put them right into that main event spot.
I hate unsanctioned matches.
Yes,
I hate them.
We talked about this Saturday night.
I talked about it Saturday night.
We talked like that's the dumbest thing ever.
We talked about it last week. There's only one unsanctioned match that, off the top of my head, that really, to me, lived up to any kind of a standard, and it's HBK and Triple H from SummerSlam 2002 when Shawn came back. And storyline wise, that does make sense to me then, because this dude, he's been gone, this and that, and his first time back in the ring, they're like, you know what, dude? Like, our doctors didn't clear you. You want to sign off on this? You're going to absolve us. We'll give you the platform. Like, that's where an unsanctioned match makes sense. Two guys that wrestle every week and knock each other off of buildings and bullshit.
Right.
Guy, like we're watching Drew pull out a freaking toolbox in every single match.
It kind of makes Nick Aldis look silly. I can't control my guys. Just make it unsanctioned. That way we're not liable.
Throw him in a damn cell then.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. That's
right.
What that would have been better served for Hell in a Cell than what we had with Edge and Finn Balor several years ago.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Because, like you said, they couldn't contain them. They were all over the place.
Rob Povia, Flyers Talk A2D, which is coming at you guys in 22 minutes here on A2D Radio, saying what's up, Pove?
They got nothing to talk about.
Nothing to talk about. Go Flyers. I'll tell you, man.
Tune in.
Ain't nothing better than coming out of WrestleMania weekend and then watching the Flyers push around and bump around and take shots at the Penguins, baby, and go up 2-0.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, go Fly, guys. Make sure you guys stay tuned for them at the top of the hour, man. Talk some Flyers because they are exciting right now. Anything else from Mania we want to cover? I'm just like trying to go off the top of my head at this point. And I want to definitely have a couple. We got 6 minutes left. Demon Balor.
Demon Balor got to win. Dom isn't hurt by it. That he's still the chicken shit heel. We're looking for every corner, nick and cranny that he can get an advantage. It's not fair. Made sense. Liv Morgan, Stephanie McCare, I think the match lived up to it, but I think it was the right decision.
I don't think it's the right decision.
I go into that match. I think the match they talked a lot about the times of these matches and how short they were with night one specifically. This one could have absolutely used another five minutes.
I agree with that.
It was a shame that it feels like they didn't even get started. And we see Devil's Kiss. Like that's when you start. It's like you're seeing this early in the match. That's the telltale sign that, like, typically you see her not execute it, and then she does it later on in the match. The fact that she did it so early, and then we see the interference. It's like, were they protecting Liv? But then she wrestled on Raw, so I'm guessing that answer is no. It was just a matter of what that match was, what it got time for. But I think that one should have gotten 5. Give it 5 more minutes. I could go without a DoorDash commercial for 5 minutes and get another 5 minutes of Liv and Steph.
Yeah.
To Jay's point, they didn't forget about Steph because she was there last night. I don't think that's over.
No. Prison Miss, what match do y'all think when hearing me? This, and then I just want to do a couple quick notes from Raw.
Yep.
Hogan Andre. When he's saying over, I think he's saying all time when hearing WrestleMania. To me, it's Hogan Andre.
Yep.
Yeah, Hogan Andre.
One match.
Yeah.
One match. One match.
Yeah.
It's got to be Hogan Andre.
Yeah. That's what put WrestleMania on the map. Like, that was it. Without that, there is no WrestleMania 42.
The boyhood dream has come true for Shawn Michaels. There you go.
We had to get our Vince moment in. Okay. Raw After Mania. We got 2 minutes to talk about this. and 2 minutes to talk about something else. Raw After Mania, Jacob Fatu shows up. Well, first of all, Roman Reigns comes back out. Sounds like we're getting the return of the bloodline, which to me fuels more of Jay's going to turn on him at some point. And Jacob Fatu confronts him and says, I don't care about being the head of the table. I care about that title. What do you guys think? Love this or hate it?
I love it. And the response from Roman was perfect. Like, you can want that. And everything Jacob said about wanting that, kids, house, the chat, like, I need to put food on the table. Heath Slater, I feed my kids. You know what I mean? So, but Roman said it. He was like, do you think you can ready? Are you ready for this?
Show me you're ready.
Show me you're ready. Get back at me in a week. Now, I wish we'd have got the rebuttal from him saying, I already know what I want. You give me your answer in a week. And then we cut it from there. But I like where it's going.
Mm-hmm.
I like where it's going.
Seeing Roman win the championship, and now he's the face of Monday Night Raw again, or he's the face of Raw now because he was on SmackDown. But either way, seeing that with the bloodline, I mean, it makes sense. It's a safe move. Yep. Roman is box office. If he's going to be on every week or close to it 3 times a month, then cool. Like, all right, I'm okay with the bloodline. But part of me would have loved to see Jay and Jimmy turn on him last night. I was waiting for it. As soon as I saw in Gorilla,
I thought about it.
He's like, oh, why don't you guys come on out? Like, what's going on here? Why are they coming out all of a sudden? But I'm okay with it. I'm okay to see where it goes. But I don't know if I want the same bloodline story as we had before. And it may be different. And you know, I know they talked about, like, we're equals and I'm not going to be giving you orders and things like that. Like, all right, fine. But remains to be seen what difference it's going to be, if any. And, you know, I'm happy for Jacob because I think it's time for him. It's time for somebody else to be on in the main event level. So if it's anybody, it's him.
Yeah. NXT, we have Ethan Page. Finally, love it, thrown right into the Intercontinental title picture. Joe Hendry is announced as a Raw signing and he'll be on next week with a Joe Hendry rock concert. I guess not a confirmation whether she's going to stay there or not. If it was just an appearance, maybe for taking the Paige spot. Sol Ruka's on. She looked like she belonged.
Yep.
To your point, real quick earlier, Pete, Zarya. She might be a Damian Priest, who I did not like in NXT. Yep. But when you see her on the main roster in that program with those women, it feels like she fits what they're doing in the main roster much more. Short answer, we got a minute. Love these or hate these?
Love them.
Any disappointment with that?
They're
like we didn't get somebody. Okay.
I think we're gonna get more. on
SmackDown. Give me Ricky Saints on SmackDown. Then I'll be overwhelmed.
That was my next question. Give me one or two names that you think are going to show up on SmackDown from NXT.
JC Jane,
Ricky Saints, or Jada Parker.
Maybe all of.
Is JC still the champion? No, she dropped the title, right?
She dropped it to Lola.
That's right, to Lola.
We could see Blake Monroe.
Blake's another one.
If she doesn't win tonight, and they don't put the North American title on her, then it's time.
And I think the Soul Zarya, they feud tonight. So
they have a last woman standing match tonight.
Over to Raw.
Yeah.
Love the names you guys had. I'm going to leave it at that. This was a great show. Last comment we're going to pop up here.
Say any more from the collective?
Backlash. Stephanie gets the belt back. I would be shocked. I wouldn't hate it though because I think Stephanie should be the champ. I don't want to go too deep here, Eric. We really got to cut off here. But listen, this was awesome. Thank you guys for everything. There's just so much to get in when you have 2 nights plus all these different events. We did our best, but I think we covered most things. But please, thank you guys. Make sure you guys give us a like, subscribe, follow here on A2D, as well as find our Lazy Booking Podcast TV channel on YouTube and give us a follow there as well. We do drop our own content that's outside of A2D, so make sure you guys do that. You get anecdotes from Arch and other things. Make sure you search A2D and us on all social media platforms. That's just Instagram there, but you can find that. Or you can type in A2D Radio search that way. Type in Lazy Booking Podcast or Lazy Booking Podcast TV. You'll see the logo. Make sure you guys find them there. Obviously, we want to say thank you to our doctor, Dr. Paul Vidal at specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Make sure you guys check out them. And that's it, boys. This was a lot of fun. Hope everybody enjoyed WrestleMania. We got SmackDown coming, so I'm sure we're going to talk a little bit of that. Plus, we'll talk Raw next week. And listen, we might be having some interesting, fun concept shows coming down the pike because we're after Backlash. They do have a bunch of events, but I think we're going to be starting to hit a slow period soon. So me and Eric, we're going to try to set up some fun stuff. Maybe see if we can have Vince Russo back in the near future. But other than that, guys, we love you. Thank you for all the contributions today.
Yes, thank you.
And again, thank you for your following. Thank you for subscribing. And if you haven't, please do it on your way out. Thank you for continuing to come back. We'll be back next Tuesday night. But until then, for myself, for Eric, for Pete, everybody here at A2D Radio, Flyers Talk A2D coming at you at the top of the hour. For us, we out. Have a great week. Go Flyers.
See you guys.
10-9-8.